7. Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
That's a good scripture. It's a damn good scripture. You got something out? Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small.
Yeah, that's plain and to the point. All right? So you gotta once you get into these scriptures, you gotta know other things. You gotta be an all around you gotta be like you gotta be like a professor. You know? You gotta be like we can honestly say up here in GMS, we can honestly say that we're scholars. Because we can deal with the scholars, the so-called historians, the so-called biblical experts of Yale, and Yale and what's the other one? Harvard. All right. By the way, we used to speak right in front of Yale. We used to run into their professors and all that, and we used to have little mini debates with them, man. And they used to always run down the street. So we are scholars, man. If we don't know it, you ask me a question, I don't know it. Be sure that I'm going to learn about it, and I'm going to get right back to you, man. Go ahead, brother.
This is 1 John 2 and 20. But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things.
That's straight and to the point, you know. But anyway, going back to the main topic I wanted to get into. I wanted to speak about the fact that during the time of the Greeks, we were taken down in a harsh manner. During the time of the Roman Empire, and then they make movies. Well, this guy was a good Caesar. There was no such thing as good Caesars. They were all devils, man. Hey, what's the movie Gladiator? What was the name of the Caesar? Marcus Aurelius. His son was Commodus. All right. Now the guy that Russell Crowe played never existed. He was a composite of Septimius Severus and maybe Procinius Niger. All right. They made that guy up. The actual people in there, in the history was I just mentioned Commodus and Marcus Aurelius, which was the Caesar. All right. And they got the history pretty. They were tight on the history, man. They were tight on the history, you know. But anyway, that's what happened in Rome. You had the situation in Greece with Alexander, with the 4 generals that came after him. All right. You had the situation with Vespasian, his son Titus. That's when you go into the history of the Jewish wars, which you got some Hebrew Israelites that say that the Edomites were done away with during the time of the Jewish wars, which that's bullshit. What happened, if you go into the history and you were a scholar, you would know that part of the revolt happened in the land of Edom, which the scholars today call Petra. So you had a lot of Israelites that died down there in Edom, and a lot of Romans died in Edom during that Jewish revolt or the Jewish wars. So they're saying, well, look, that war the Romans took down the Edomites, when the Romans are the Edomites. So you got to get your history straight. Like I said, you got to study. So now, in this time that we're in now, when we were brought over from the one side of the earth to the other side of the earth to serve slavery, there was a lot of people that were put to death. When the Spaniards, the conquistadors, went down to the Central and South America, they put a lot of our people to death. They came up with movies. There was one movie came out called 1492, and I think the other one was called Christopher Columbus. And Columbus Day, believe it or not, is coming up in what, another week and a half from now? So you know we're going to do a little special on that. We always do. We always give Chrissy, props, although he don't like it. We're going to bring it up. But I mentioned all these different periods, right? Now, before this devil goes down, he's going to have what's called his last hurrah. That's why he's pushing that gun confiscation. Yep, they did the same thing in Germany. What they did in Germany, Hitler's Germany, they're doing the same thing over here. They want everybody to have chips. They want to totally enslave people. Another thing that they want to do, which they're doing on a small scale, is they have a corporation called, what is it? It's on the video. It deals with the prisons. They're privatizing all the prisons. But anyway, I'm going to show the video, and then we'll speak about it.
Right. So basically, what's happening is, you see all these prophecies taking place. A lot of this stuff that you see taking place today, was taking place back then. It was just a different time period. When you go back during the time of the Romans, the reason why they took Israel down, of course, prophecy first and foremost, but you had Israelites that were going against the Romans, and then they wanted to squash that whole thing. But the Lord overall, it was the judgment of the Lord that was on the Romans to destroy Israel because it was prophesied. Now when you go back during the time of Antiochus Epiphanes, the reason why Antiochus Epiphanes and them Greeks came against Israel was because Israel didn't want to bow down to their terms. That's why they were killing them. That's why they were persecuting them, chasing them, because they didn't want to conform to their so-called New World Order. And that's the same thing that's going to happen today. You want to say something?
Yeah, I was getting ready to implement that. A lot of these black radio talk hosts that you see on the radios and across the country are talking about tighter gun control laws and stuff like that. That's the same thing that they was doing in 1939 when Adolf Hitler was in power, coming to power, and they burnt the Rice Building, and it was called Kristallnacht, which means night of broken glass. Now, if you go back and you do research on that, you will find out that the same thing that they implemented in Germany, the confiscating of guns and weapons and stuff, is the same thing that they're trying to do here in the United States. So all you so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Puerto Ricans out there that are going around saying up there, you need to stop the gun violence. First of all, violence comes from the Most High. It don't come from you sitting up there saying that it's going to stop, because you know what? That shows that you're wicked as hell, that you don't really believe in the Most High. Then you ask me, why would the Lord create such a thing? Well, if a brother can get Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, 32nd chapter, and the 21st, I'm going to give every last one of y'all your answers. You got it, brother? Deuteronomy 32 and 20. This is quick fast. Yeah, 32 and 20, Deuteronomy. Because this is asinine, ignorant to be sitting up there saying dumbass crap about stopping the violence, man. Go ahead, brother. Whoever has it.
Deuteronomy 32 and 20, and he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see that their end shall be, for they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith.
Right. That's why you sitting up there. I'm gonna say this, Mark Riley.